Get rid of the vicar. Talk to the vicar. Okay, guess we do that then.
God be with you, Henry.
This is gonna be... Let's go there. You have to wait anyway. Probably can do that bandit camp too. Oops. Oh wait. Oh. What the heck is a vicar on his inside? Yep.
What do you want here, lad?
God save, Monsignor. My name's Henry, and I've been sent by Sir Hanish of Lipa.
Sir Hanish, And why is he sending you?
I'm to assist you in your search.
Oh, I see. How considerate of him. Well, you've come at the right time. I need someone who'll go unnoticed among the locals. I'm sure Sir Hanish told you what I'm doing here.
He said you're looking for heretics?
Exactly. I'm seeking out the sores that inflict the body of the church. The rash of heretics. Waldensians. Dangerous heretics, one and all.
How can I help you then?
Excellent. Let's get right to the point, Henry. I know how to get to where the heretics congregate.
And what's stopping you from going there, sir?
That is to say, I know in theory. The crux of the matter is this.
Okay.
We caught a heretic in Kutenberg who told us of the heretics in Uschitz. Regrettably, by the time he got around to describing their meeting place, he was already raving and hardly coherent.
I see. So do you know where they meet up, or don't you?
Possibly. His account was confused, to say the least. I have a record somewhere here. Can you read, boy?
Naturally, Father. Otherwise, Sir Hanish wouldn't have sent me.
I see. It's a good thing at least the servants of the nobility are getting a suitable education. Some of their own offspring can hardly write their own names. Here's the record of the interrogation. From what I can make out, his description of the route starts at the local tavern. Once you've found something out, come back and see me.
I'll do my best, Father.
Well, I'm not from Uschitz exactly, so I don't know how well they'll accept me.
That's good, because the last thing I need is one of these local good-for-nothings. I can't trust a single one of them. And they don't trust me either. But you're an ordinary lad with a likable face. If a bit simple-looking, you'll have a much better chance of learning their secrets.
You flatter me, Monsignor. Very well, then. Are there any suspects?
Everyone is a suspect. You can be sure of that. But I'll know more after I finish the interrogations.
How did you conclude there are heretics here?
We caught one in Kutenberg. He confessed to everything, including meeting up with others in Uschitz a few times.
And that was all he told you?
By the end, all his strength had left him, so he couldn't even put together a list.
I see.
I'm pleased to hear it.
Who are these Waldensians? I've never heard of them.
Really? Then you've either not been paying attention in church, or the parish priest in Ratai is too idle to read out the bishop's missive to the congregation. Both possibilities are equally disturbing, but I'll allow you the benefit of the doubt and assume it's the latter. But to answer your question, it's a heretical sect.
I gathered that much. But what form does the heresy take?
Look, boy, I don't have time right now to embark on theological disputation. Besides which, it's not something you need concern yourself with. Suffice it to say, they are heretics.
Very well, Monsignor. I'll get working on it, sir.
God be with you, my son.
Okay. So get something to read. This account was written by blah blah blah. Written by Master Borislav, scribe to the Archbishop, recording the testimony given by the questioned heretic, whereby the interrogation was conducted by the very Reverend John of Osek, Monsignor and Vicar to the Archbishop, and the lawful right to torture was carried out by the town executioner, Francis, called Shanks, in the town jail, according to the resolution of the town council. The first, the captive heretic, one Peter of Heretics, did refuse to give testimony, whereupon the executioner was instructed to encourage him to do so by the performance of arts. Let it be stated that the interrogated Peter of Heretics did long resist the executioner's persuasions. However, he did finally respond to a query as to the place of assembly of the other heretic known to him, that they did meet in the township of Usage. The vicar then asked the prisoner to elaborate, that is, who they were and in what house they assembled. Peter of Heretics again fell into silence. The executioner was again obliged to exercise his persuasive art, which in due course the vicar ordered him to desist. The prisoner was greatly fatigued, whereupon he did suddenly find his voice and began to respond at length to the repeated query as to where he met with the other heretics. The vicar thereupon decreed that the testimony of the prisoner be written down on verbatim. May the Lord forgive me for hearing these heretical speeches, which by my duty to Holy Mother Church I am bound to set down in writing this day. Thus spoke the heretic. I began my pilgrimage in Usage, the den of iniquity where the people were drinking and fornicating, so left the corrupt place at once. And at once I saw another abomination, the temple of the bride at the Antichrist, with the proud Babylonian tower. I went past it quickly towards the rising sun. When I left the village, I came upon a crossroads and didn't know which way to go, so I fell on my knees and prayed, and my prayer was heard. The finger of Christ rose from the ground to show the right path. On I went through the sinful land, and suddenly I heard the sound of 1,000-headed crowd at work, and I saw the queen and their towers. I journeyed further on, and all at once there arose from the ground the jaws of the behemoth. His broken teeth jutted up to the heavens like the tombstones of the Moabites. So I went through the mouth of the beast, and by the road I saw the abode of the apostles Peter and Andrew. I was hungry, so I took the fruits of their labors and filled my belly. Then I left their house and saw 2 widows weeping and keening. I wept with them, and they let me sleep in the shadow. Not much left there. I went further along the edge of the world and saw the ribs of the great Leviathan washed up by the sea. And I saw 2 bridges over the river Jordan, and the devil tempted me and tried to lure me to the one on the right. But I saw through his deception and went against his will. Then I finally saw it, the gateway to the garden of paradise, abundant with foliage. It was guarded by men of straw, but I saw I was a good Christian and let me enter therein. These were the last words uttered by the heretic Peter of Heretics, for he did then breathe his last. The vicar did then state that his death was surely the work of Lucifer, to silence his tongue before the ears of the servants of God. The executioner thereupon took umbrage and made cited objections, for which his wage was cut by 3 groschen, and he was admonished not to repeat such remarks, especially in the presence of a servant of the Holy Mother Church. Part of the heretic was buried outside the cemetery wall as befits, so that he should not corrupt hallowed ground. Thereby the case of the heretic was brought to a close accordance with this law. Okay. Okay. But that doesn't mark it anywhere. So you pretty much have to go by the description of the what he's saying. And once I saw another illumination, the temple of the bride of the Antichrist, with the proud Babylonian tower. I went past it quickly towards the rising sun. It means the Babylonian tower, though. Is it a little bit? Went to the right here and come to the crossroads here, okay. Just check.
Yeah.
In this crossroad. Crossroad over here.
Yeah.
Hasn't had a crowd of workers. Haven't this? Let's check the map here a bit. I think it's this way.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah.
I wonder what that is. Hmm. Excuse me. Just inside, huh? Okay. That's just talking about the sun going up and down, so it's like there's a Tower of Babylon. It's so hard to see what he means by that.
Yeah.
Question if it meant crossroad, if it meant up here already. Cross is to the left here, and if you went to this. Yeah, this is. Here's all the queen and their stuff, and oops. Okay. Okay. Journey further on, and all at once there rose from the ground the jaws of the behemoth, and his broken teeth jutted up the heavens like the tombstones. So I went through the mouth of the beast, and by the road I saw the abode of the apostles Peter and Andrew. I was hungry, so I took the fruits of their labors and filled my belly. And left their house, and saw two widows weeping. King and wept with them, and they let me sleep in the shadow. This is what I meant for the that is it. On the wall, maybe? Rock. Usually interested sites seems to be having some kind of pressure. Something around. Questions is where. Anything out there? Sound line, I don't want that. Feels like there should be something. Okay. Road through the jaws of the fire. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why he talked about taking the bridge, right?
Yeah.
Welcome, Henry.
What? Okay. I wonder if I went the wrong way then. There's two bridges here. Supposed to be coming from this direction. Now we could be going back though. See. Oh. Yes, the road bite.
Yeah.
Supposed to be coming this. It is this. Talking like and this is it. Up there. Seems a bit. Hmm. Here I go. Hmm. And the devil tempted me and tried to lure me to the one on the right, but I saw through his deception and went against his will, and I found the gateway to the garden of paradise, abundant with foliage. Guarded by men of strawberries. They saw I was a good Christian, let me enter therein. Huh.
Yeah.
This would be the left bridge if I come from... check this way. There's nothing here around.
Yeah.
There's something over here. That is. Interesting sight, huh? Well,
Yeah.
oh wait, no. I think I see it left here.
Yeah.
Into the foliage here.
It seems I found it.
Easy lockpick, huh? The quest items, I'm gonna take that. Something around here, I guess.
A cross, nicely carved. Someone in the village might recognize it.
Eh? Back. That's a lot of people that can be. The innkeeper is usually a good place.
Bloody hogs.
God be with you.
I'm looking for the owner of this cross. Do you happen to know whose it is?
No, I don't. But why not ask the priest? He blesses all the crosses in the village.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll ask him.
Farewell.
Father Goodwin! Our party priest.
My God, what happened to you? You look like you've been assaulted.
The village folk said you consecrate the crosses they keep at home.
Indeed I do. Why do you ask, Hal?
I was just wondering if you could remember who owns this one.
I could, but I might not want to tell you.
Why?
People said they saw you talking with a vicar. They're afraid that Sir Hanush sent you here to help him.
Well, that is basically true.
Jesus Christ, Hal, are you insane? To get involved with a man like that?
Sir Hanush sent me to find out what he wants, and to get him out of here if possible.
Well, then we share the same interest. But I'd still prefer it to end with nobody burned at the stake.
Well, you and me both.
That's good to hear. Where did you find the cross?
Let's do a deal. I'll tell you where I found it, and you tell me whose it is.
Very well. Tell me.
I found it in the woods. It looked like people met there. There were other things, candles, a cloth, and so on.
Damn it. That really does seem like...
That the vicar is right to be looking here. It surprised me, too. So whose is it?
The cross is definitely the Bauers, I remember that. But that just can't be. I can't believe it. If they really are heretics, though...
What do you want to do?
I don't know. But I'll do anything in my power to prevent a heretic witch hunt taking hold here.
I see. It wouldn't make Sir Hanush too happy either.
My thoughts exactly. But the question still remains what to do about it. The vicar won't give up till he's found what he wants. You know what, boy? Before we do anything else, we ought to make sure whether there really are heretics here.
What do you propose?
That's simple. Listen to how they say their prayers.
No.
But how can I listen to their private prayers? I don't suppose they'll be praying that way in the church.
Certainly not. In the church, they'd pray the usual way. But at home, it's a different matter entirely. I know they meet at the farm in the evening with all the domestics. They'll surely be praying then.
All right, but how can I listen in?
I don't know. Crouch beneath the window? Climb up in the loft? That way you'll be sure to hear everything said in the main room.
Okay.
What do you know about the Bauers?
When I think about it now, they're a little peculiar.
What do you mean?
Well, they do rather keep themselves to themselves. They attend Mass, true enough. They leave the moment it's over. And I've never seen them at a dance or a celebration of any kind. But on the other hand, they give more alms to the needy in the village than anyone. I can't deny them that.
Where did those Bauer folk come from?
I don't really know. I've never spoken to them much, but they've not been here long, only 2 or 3 years.
And the cross? Did you consecrate that for the Bauers themselves?
No. It belonged to the family who lived on the farm before them. That was quite a sad story.
Okay.
Right, I'll get on with it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye, sir. Bye, bye. Okay. Oops. Okay, there. Do I have to do that first? Check it out first.
Yeah.
Powers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, I could try listening from here.
Wait. Okay. Let's see. Can hear anything from these guys? Bum, bum.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are bound to receive from thy bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
They took old Wenzel to the presbytery today. His farm is nearby. It's only a matter of time
Before they come for me. I know.
And what are we going to do about it? That vicar is baying for blood, the beast. He will devour you alive.
I do not intend to do anything about it. I shall not waver from my faith, nor turn my back on it.
My dear, what on earth are you saying?
If they come for me, I will go quietly. And I will not lie.
Are you serious? Don't you know what they'll do to you?
I can well imagine. But I am resolved.
The Lord have mercy.
Do not fear. I surrender to God's will. And I do not condemn you if you decide to leave.
I'll stay by your side, although I'd rather that you decided otherwise.
I know. And you have no fear, my brothers in Christ. Stay true to God's plan, as I shall. Go and spread the true faith amongst all good folk.
I'm sorry, I wish there was another way.
You should eat your supper and depart right away. Who knows? You may come for us at dawn.
Okay. Carrot. Radish. else they can explain what the heck you guys are talking about. To noise, so we should be fine. Okay. What? Fast travel up. Watch out. Put down. Should leap. Come on. Sure. Leap. Not. Heck? The way up somewhere? What do we have? Here we have a little buddy. Just in case. Can't.
My respects to you.
So I went to check on the Bauer Farm, and I don't have good news.
Do tell.
They most certainly are heretics, at least as far as I can tell.
Are you sure? What did you hear?
Well, for a start, the evening prayers were led by a woman.
That is certainly unusual, but nothing conclusive in itself.
But that's not all. They're afraid the vicar will be coming after them.
Who wouldn't fear that? That swine finds fault with everyone.
Well, it's not like you'd have to try too hard. Mrs. Bauer plans to confess everything.
Confess what, exactly?
Most likely her faith. The people of the farm were trying to discourage that, but her mind's made up.
Oh, good Lord, that's all I need. What am I to do?
She's planning to confess. What would you like to do?
You have to talk them out of it, Hal. You must convince them to run.
Me? And what am I supposed to say to them? I'm the one who's been hunting them down.
So who better? Do you think they'll listen to me? I'm a priest. If there's anyone they can't abide, it's me. You have to try at least. For their own good and for yours, Hal.
You're right. Someone has to help them.
I'm glad you see it that way. Now hurry. You never know when the vicar might come for them. Good luck then.
Okay. Get to climb all the way down. Oh, use ladder, thank you. Okay. Back over there again then.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Question is, wonder if I somehow can okay, let's put on gear. Okay. Dun, dun. Let's save just in case it will badly here. Waking.
Huh? Shit. Sod off.
What did you just say? That's just him in here. Check out the other people. Where are the boys? Where is she at now? On toilet. Wondering if I have to probably have to wait until the morning, huh? Gotta wait. Yeah. Hey,
Good day, Henry.
oh, what the? Oh, come on, stop. I'm doing my face.
Mistress Power,
What is it you need?
I've come to ask something of you.
Have you? And just who are you, young man?
That doesn't matter. The important thing is that I want to help you and your husband.
I admit that I'm a little confused. You've come to ask me something, but at the same time you want to help me. What's going on?
I want to ask you not to confess to the vicar. Just take your husband and get out of here while there's still time.
I have no idea why you're so taken with my fate, or how you found out about my intentions. But I'll tell you one thing. Changing my mind is out of the question. I won't betray my faith, nor my brothers in Christ.
You speak of your brothers in Christ, but what about the people in Ujits?
What of them? Most of them are idlers, gamblers, adulterers, or outright thieves.
Maybe they aren't folk after your own heart, but does that mean they aren't worthy of salvation? Isn't that up to God to decide?
I'm just describing, not judging them. That judgment does indeed rest solely with our Lord.
But if you confess, all those people will be in danger. God knows how many of them will end up burned at the stake merely because of the vicar's dislike.
The vicar will be the one to send them to the flames, not I. Am I to blame for the sins of others?
No, but you can prevent more sinning. Isn't that your mission? To keep people from sinning?
You may be right, but I can't lie. It's against all my teaching.
You won't have to lie if you're never asked any questions. Just leave. You can preach elsewhere. I'm sure you have lots of friends who'd love to take you in.
But I don't want to run.
No one wants to run away, but sometimes we have no choice. If you run, your faith will live on. That must mean something.
You're right. I shouldn't give in so easily. I've just grown so weary of the endless persecution.
You should pack up and run away as soon as you can. The vicar might get here any minute.
Thank you.
Don't delay.
Good luck then.
Should go in, put in and eat. And boop.
Henry, I'm glad you stopped by.
Eat. Yeah. Armor. Shield on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wake
Good
up.
health to you.
I found them, Monsignor.
Pardon me?
I found the heretics.
Really? And who are they?
The Bauer family and their entire household.
Well, I expect you to give me some evidence. In the last few days, I've been hearing how practically everyone here is a heretic.
I found that place the captive heretic talked about, and I found a family cross there. It took a bit of asking around, but I learned it belongs to the Bauers. Their farm isn't far from here, to the north. And then all I had to do was go there and do a little spying.
What of it? What did you hear?
Nothing at all. The farm was deserted, not a living soul anywhere.
Ha! They fled, so they are heretics.
What will you do, Monsignor?
It's not the first time the devil's spawn has fled from me. I'll do the same as always. Track them down and capture them. Don't worry, they won't get far. Thank you for your help. You may leave. Take care now.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom. We should do the bandits. It will be soon. Next day it will be time to get going, I think.
God bless you. What troubles you?
It's all sorted out, sir. You've no need to worry about the vicar anymore.
Excellent. Some good news at last. I've heard some pretty wild rumors from Uzhitz. So what happened there exactly?
Maybe this will surprise you, sir, but there really were heretics in Uzhitz.
Are you telling me the vicar didn't come to stick his nose in my possessions?
I don't know about that, but he definitely suspected there were heretics hereabouts, and he was right.
Christ. A man doesn't expect that sort of thing in his own fiefdom. Did you catch them?
No, they ran away. The vicar's investigation wasn't exactly low-key. Anyway, they've definitely fled beyond your estate.
Well, that's at least something. And the vicar?
He's probably hot on their heels.
Well, I hope he doesn't come back. Anyway, Henry, thanks for dealing with that vicar. You pulled a thorn from my side. Here's a little token of my gratitude.
Thank you, sir.
See you later.
Michael. Oh. Damn, that was a big upgrade. Hello. You take it? Okay, let's see, where are those bandits at? Let's go down here. What?
What are you doing here?
Why'd you ask? Can I not take a walk in the woods without being accosted?
I ask because I'm the gamekeeper here, and it's my job to protect these woods from
Well, I'm certainly not poaching.
In that case, you won't mind if I have a look what you...
Certainly. Go ahead and look.
Maybe. Ah. Sleep soon, I see. We do the bandits here, I think, and see, they are there, so we go over. Mark it there. Okay, let's see. We can.
What's that? Alarm! Raise the alarm! Watch out! Hey, all of you! Gather here! Raise the alarm! Where is everyone?
What?
Bring it on!
Oh my god, are you serious? How that missed?
Call that combat?
Alright. Wonder why he didn't hit the head. No, it's just run away.
What's going on there? What's
Oh.
that? You're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh, come on, what
Hey,
the?
all of you! Gather here! Raise the alarm! Raise the alarm! Watch out!
Oh, this one actually do have. Ah. Okay. Let's see, we are done with everything we can do, so let's go there to find back to our camp. We eat and sleep until next day and probably see if it won't be time for the battle, maybe? Whatever will happen. Taking the damage.
Yeah!
Good day, Henry.
Good day.
Good health to you.
Good help to you.
I've taken care of the camp. Where's the proof? Here it is.
Pleased to hear it. It looks like your work is done here at Ratai. I haven't heard of any other camps, so we may finally have some peace and calm. Good work.
Thank you, Captain.
But have no fear of idleness. I've sent word to Captain Robard. They're expecting you at Talmberg. There are Cuman hordes rampaging through their woods.
Very well, Captain. I'll set off immediately.
Glad to hear it. See you later.
Hey. Good.
I have some, trophies.
Let's see. Bastards deserved it. Goodbye.
There is yet another side. Those will be rougher though to deal with. But eat. Let's get some sleep. Sleep 12 hours, so much else we can do. Party night there is no tomorrow. Okay, let's see. We have this. We can put away that one. Horse is packed.
Yeah.
Could go to different millers and sell, I guess, but.
How are you, Henry?
How are we with?
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
We made it in the nick of time.
We failed. That serpent from Valdic gave us the slip. I should have known he'd have his fingers in it all. If only I could catch him.
Would you kill him?
Maybe. But before that, I'd throw him in the dungeon for a few years. See how much he enjoys it. Still, the best I'll be able to do is lodge a complaint against him when the king returns, and just thinking about it gets my gall. And my arm's killing me. Damn it! God be with you.
Just wonder if it's gone enough time now.
I've been sent by Captain Bernard. He says you have Cuman marauders here.
Ah, so it was you Bernard was speaking of. Well, the Cumans are marauding, that's for sure. Sir Divish did declare a decent reward for taking the bastards down. But we've not had cause to pay out to anyone so far.
Is that because the locals are too frightened?
No, they're more than willing to try. It's just they don't seem to make it back again. But don't let me put you off. We do know of one camp. Along the road to Neuhof, hidden between the cliffs. I'll pay you your reward if you can bring me proof you've killed the camp leader. They wear peculiar helmets with a face mask of sorts. Easy to recognize.
All right, I'll see to it.
I'll be with you.
They gone 2 days yet? Dun, 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 dun. Paint is gone in 2 days. Have to wait yet another day then. Or
Since Sir Divish's colours still aren't flying over Talmberg, I suppose we'll be attacking.
Just so. That Istvand's a stubborn bastard.
All right, when do we start?
There's no reason to wait. Are you really ready? If you need to rest or anything, we can still wait. You won't have another chance until we've won the day. Or until your final rest.
let's go.
I'm ready.
Glad to hear it. We're going to attack on 2 fronts. The North Gate and the West Wall, which will scale with ladders. The attack will be split into different stages. Taking the outer walls, the inner bailey, and finally the core of the castle and the tower.
How are we going to attack the gate?
We'll try to do as much damage as we can with the trebuchet first. Keyser claims he can even hit it directly. Even if that's true, we'll have to charge through a downpour of enemy arrows all the way to the portcullis.
Portcullis?
Fortunately, it's wooden, so we'll be able to break it down. But dealing with the defense in the bailey won't be easy.
And what's the plan for attacking the west wall?
First, we have to get men to the wall with ladders, which is no easy matter under fire, so we'll need as many men covering them as possible. As soon as the ladders are in place, our foot soldiers will run up and try to scale the wall. Once a few of them get to the battlements, we should quickly gain the upper hand.
How will we take the battlements?
Either by scaling the west wall, or our men at the gate will help. If they can break through, that is.
And the inner bailey?
That will be tough. Even if we get through the gate and into the outer bailey, we're still a long way from victory. The castle is designed so we'll be like hens in a coop to anyone with a bow on the inner battlements. We'll have to either fight our way through, or somehow get around them.
What about the living quarters?
There, I'm worried most about the hostages. Once we're inside, Istvand will know defeat is inevitable, but we'll still have to fight for each and every room.
I think I've heard everything I need to know.
Do you want to join the attack on the walls or on the gate? Remember, many of the Skalitz men will follow you. It could make a big difference.
I'll help with the attack on the walls.
I'm proud of you, Henry. You've changed from an insolent pup into a tough, reliable fighter. And as God is my witness, we will kick those whore sons' arses.
A village lad and an old soldier? This man must be shaking in his boots.
If he's not shaking, then he doesn't know what he's got coming. Just one last thing, though. No matter how good the plan is, something always gets fucked up. Keep your eyes open and take advantage of every chance. Help your comrades, and don't go rushing in where you're outnumbered. We have to take the castle gradually, one position after another.
I'll remember that.
Good luck to you, stripling.
Good luck to you, old soldier.
Goodbye.
Dum-dum. Oh. Time. Perfect shooting. And he done that earlier. Objective started. Attack. Storm the walls. Oh, come on. What the heck, man? Rude. Okay. Blood rush. Yeah.
Smash them! Clear those battle boats!
Oops. Yeah, shoot my own.
We've got them! And now from the south! We'll charge them from the rear!
What the heck, man? I'm stuck in a stupid position. Oh my god, are you freaking serious? Oh my god, I'm stuck. Oh, what? Oh my god, can you stop the target? Oh my god, that's... Ouch. Can I use... Nope. Do it during combat. Oh my god, what the heck? Oh my god, I'm stuck. I need to... No, we can use one. Nope. Okay. Robo's gonna be able to shoot something now.
Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanish.
Istvan! It's over! You want us to come and get you?
I wouldn't advise that. Your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, you're all noblemen here. All bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
Very well then, but I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship, but Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
If you're certain, Radzig.
Prepare horses and supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks his truce answers to me.
So are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor!
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. And then, he'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing. Never fear. Your father will be all right.
We'll hunt down those vermin yet.
Bring the horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Stephanie.
Forgive me, husband. I'm sorry.
For what?
For letting them into the castle.
Come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend.
Never mind. Did he hurt you?
No.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzig free in Skalitz. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
My apologies for keeping you from your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it. Yeah!
Yes.
Quick! To the battlements! We have to see which way they go! Oh, they really are heading for Skalitz. Mount up, Henry. You've heard what he'll do if we follow them. We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him?
Okay. It seems like I'm hungry. Horse, do you have any food on you? What?
The way you found Tom, sneaking into Brannick all on your own. Well, what I mean is, hats off to you, Hal. You wouldn't catch me doing that.
Truth is, I didn't think much about it. I just felt I had to do it.
Yeah.
What should I say to him?
Don't worry, it'll come to you. You'll see.
Well, I just hope he'll be there. Alive.
Yeah.
This is quite a turnaround, isn't it?
What do you mean?
How long have we known each other? A few weeks?
Something like that.
Before that, I was chasing wenches around Rattay and you were digging turnings. And now look at us. A pair of veterans.
I was an apprentice blacksmith, not a turnip digger.
Same difference, you silly bugger. What do you think? Will Toth keep his word?
He's a noble, right?
Yes. Yeah. So am I.
Sir Ranted will be there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't keep the same speed because he's slower than me.
Not long ago, I only made plans 3 days ahead at most. Maybe I really could do something for Rattay and its people. Something really big. But there'll be plenty of time for that later. There's no sign of them. Move on. There! I'm glad to see Ishvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too. And now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I have twice as many men as he. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other. Let's go!
You all right, Father?
I am. They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, so I'll have to go back on foot.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
And catch that bastard. How could we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
No, of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
If the word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
Where's the honor in abandoning your son?
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
He knew it.
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
I know so little about his past.
He told you nothing? Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe. And I don't think he cared much for it.
That's why he wanted me to stay at home.
He spent some time in Prague, then settled in Kuttenberg. But it seems he quarreled with someone there and finally ended up here. You know the rest.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
I lost the one thing I had left from him. Your sword.
Ah. The sword. It's not my sword. It's yours. For a moment there, it was so near, yet so far. Oh, well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too. And then I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it. I'll never forget his face. Or his name. Mark Vart von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son. But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for. Though I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did. But it's better not to dwell too much on that, at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds, I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front. It's like I always imagined it would be, teaching my boy to ride. Although it would be better if you were a little smaller. My word, it's all go today, isn't it? I wonder who this is.
I think I know. It's Margrave Jobst.
The king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
And there it is. All done. Let the credits roll and see what pops up. Kingdom come delivered. Hey, Seiji. The next game I will be playing after this will be Hellblade.
You're doing well, son.
Father.
Come now. You know who sired you.
That doesn't matter now. I miss you, Amar. I miss you very much.
You'll be fine. We're proud of you.
For what? I let you down. I lost the sword. I let that bastard get away.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There was nothing you could have done to save us. And someone has to live and carry the torch. As for the sword, it's just a thing.
You didn't want me fighting. Now look at me.
Standing up to evil isn't the same as sowing its seeds. You did what was right. I have to leave you now.
Oh, please.
You know I can't stay.
Will I ever see you again?
God knows. Make her proud.
Don't go. No. What on earth were you dreaming about? I couldn't wake you, and it's well past dawn. Sir Radzik wants you at the upper castle. The lords are in council with Jobst.
Right. I'll go straight away.
The story in this game was really good.
What is it?
It's just... I don't know how to address you anymore. All of a sudden you're Sir Radzig's son, hobnobbing with lords and ladies. And here's me, as common as muck.
Oh, give over, you idiot. Do I look like a lord to you?
Not really. You're as much a lord as I am a nun. And I've never looked good in a habit.
Get out of here! Or I'll have you clapped in the stocks.
So we have a little bit more to do, huh? Okay. Oath is an oath. Epilogue. Okay.
Welcome, Henry.
Henry, I'm glad you stopped by.
And here we have our horse. Oh, we're not done with the game yet, it seems like, so... See what's up. Oh. I wanna hit him.
Oh, Hal, are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Radzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
The question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur, that King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed. But to surrender it means giving up great privileges, too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas has invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, Your Graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergholf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Bergholf is on your side? Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghof, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts, and now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghof know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Berghof at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Berghof would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
Okay, so we are not done with the game now.
It would be best to write it in your name as Lord of Lipa.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I to write?
What isn't really the issue. The question
What
is
do you
how.
think of it all, Sir Divish?
We need to learn where they stand on liberating the king and ousting Sigismund.
If I didn't know anything
make
about
trouble or
Jobst,
join
I'd
our
say he's
side,
right
but-
and absolutely truthful.
But we have to ask in
But
a way that won't leave Sir Capon
I've
being
heard
run
too
out of the
much
castle
about him
with a whip.
already.
Exactly.
Likewise.
How about writing
But I
that
do
you're
feel he's the one with the
concerned
best
about
chance to
current
put
events
things
and that
right.
you want to see
Well,
things settled peaceably.
We'll see what we
And
learn
ask
from
the
Berghof.
opinion of the League of Lords.
If the League of
Very well
Lords
said,
stands with
sir.
Sigismund,
And
then our
what
chances
they want
pale,
to do about
in
freeing
spite of
King
everything
Wenceslas.
Jobst said.
We shall
Whether
see.
they think
We
liberating
shall
King
see.
Wenceslas IV might contribute to
So,
resolving
it looks like you're off on a mission.
Yes. I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way.
Not to mention that Bergov is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Bergov tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
Very well. Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
Damn, that's all. 3 days travel?
I'm getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg lineage. It all seems a bit too tangled.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the Empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to prominence. When he was in power, things had never been so good. Wenceslas and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governing Moravia, but instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for years, and now Sigismund's fallen out with Wenceslas. Wenceslas also had another brother, the youngest, John of Görlitz, who was most probably poisoned. They seem like a hot-blooded lot. It's hard to keep up with their affairs, since they tend to change their alliances from one day to the next.
Who is he really, this Jobst?
The cousin of King Wenceslas. He's the Margrave of Moravia. I admit I don't know what to make of him myself. Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate against the king. And now suddenly, he's reversed his position. I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. It's best to keep a watchful eye on him, but he really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund these days. We'll just have to see how it all turns out.
Okay.
I'm a bit concerned so many people seem to think so little of King Wenceslas. You knew him, didn't you? What's he really like?
Well, there's no straightforward answer to that question. He certainly makes a great hunting and drinking companion, but he can be very fiery and impetuous when things don't go how he'd like them. He never had much of a head for high office. He finds it tiresome. But once a man's grasped the scepter, it's hard to let it go again. You can't just abscond. You've seen for yourself what happens when he disappears for a few months. Better a bad but legitimate king than a bloody war over the throne.
Okay.
Who is this Prokop that Jobst spoke of?
Jobst's brother, the king's cousin. He and Jobst warred over Moravian supremacy for years. Then they were allies for a while, betrayed Wenceslas and sided with Rupert of the Palatinate. But after Sigismund abducted Wenceslas, Prokop fomented a revolt against him, and Sigismund had him captured. Politics. Make of it what you will. I, for one, can't make head or tail of it most of the time.
The League of Lords and that Berghoff we're off to see. Who are they exactly?
The lords of the powerful houses. Heinrich of Rosenberg, Otto of Berghoff, Heinrich of Radetz, and others. They're unhappy with the way their influence declined after Wenceslas surrounded himself with the lesser orders of nobility. They abducted the king years ago and made him bow to their will. They got away with it that time, and now they've joined forces with Sigismund and done it again. But now it seems that Sigismund's behavior is starting to rub them up the wrong way, so they may well be thinking twice. We'll see what Berghoff has to say.
I don't know all that much about Sigismund.
He's the king's younger brother and king of Hungary in his own right. 7 years ago, he led a crusade against the Turks and was defeated at Nicopolis. Some say it was due to the recklessness of the French knights, most of whom were mercilessly slaughtered. Sigismund is ambitious and capable. He might well make a better ruler than Wenceslas, but he's arrogant, and to our misfortune, brutal. Not long ago, he himself was held captive by the Hungarian nobility. They dislike him as much as some of the Czech and German noblemen do his brother Wenceslas. Ironically, Wenceslas joined forces with Jobst to liberate him, and now this is how Sigismund repays his brother. There's no doubt about it, God does move in mysterious ways.
Yeah, that seems like a...
Rupert of the Palatinate. That's a name I hadn't heard before today.
Rupert is the Prince-Elector of the Palatinate.
What's a Prince-Elector?
The Prince-Electors are dignitaries of the Holy Roman Empire who have the right to elect the King of the Romans, who would then be crowned Holy Roman Emperor by the Pope. Rupert took the title for himself with the help of 3 other Prince-Electors, even though Wenceslas had already been appointed. Some of the nobility in the empire recognized Rupert's claim, but when he went to Rome to be crowned emperor, it turned into a fiasco. Now he's doing his utmost to get Wenceslas to acknowledge him, but so far without success. So, now we have 2 kings of the Romans. Jobst sided with Sigismund for a while, but now he's switched allegiance. He seems to do that quite a lot.
What did you trust?
That young man, Sir John of Liechtenstein. Why is he here?
The Liechtensteins are a powerful Austrian family with estates in Austria and Moravia. Sir John sits on Jobst's council. Since the king's being held captive in Vienna, I suppose it makes sense to have a powerful Austrian house as allies. It could be very useful.
Okay.
That's about all.
Very well. Take the letter from Sir Hanush. And good luck, son.
Okay. Pick up the letter.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
Hey, Hans doesn't have the
I
best
wish you Godspeed.
track record for keeping his word. Congratulations, you completed the main storyline. If you like, you can still embark on side quests and activities or just wander the world. You can finish the game anytime by joining Sir Hans' Captain's Squad.
Come now, Hal. My men are mustered in the courtyard.
Okay, so we do save. See how it ends. And the side quest I have pretty much is I don't know what this is. I'm not gonna friendship parents. This is just kill randomly, and that's just bring here meat, and that's just shoot some logs in the water.
How are you, Henry?
Came in second place, but you had to win it. Leipnir. Oh, both you first.
So, can we set off now, Henry?
Of course. I can't wait.
So, to horse! The Lord of Burgov is bound to be waiting us eagerly.
Mm-hmm.
So, how is life as a highborn bastard?
I'm getting used to it.
What about Rudsey? Has he accounted for not owning up to you the whole time?
He explained it. All will be well, I think.
Glad to hear it. It's far more acceptable for a nobleman to befriend a noble bastard than a blacksmith's son.
Mind you, don't come to blows with a blacksmith, my young lord. What do you think about Sir Jobst and his plan?
Well, I admit all the scheming has me a little lost. I thought Sigismund was the devil, Wenceslas a martyr, those on his side the heroes, and those against him the villains. I believed we'd rescue the king and all would be well again, but now it looks a lot more complicated.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect the noble lords to be as noble as the angels, but I hadn't expected such a sewer. They behave like children.
I can't fathom how after all this backstabbing they're somehow still on speaking terms.
I don't know either. Beggars belief.
Yeah.
Did you know that King Wenceslas is such a...
Feckless drunkard? Not really. And to be honest, I'm not sure I wanted to know. I slept better believing my fate was watched over by a wise and powerful monarch.
So did I.
What a dismal world when you can't keep trusting your own
Henry's
king.
come to see us.
On the other hand, times were better with him here than with him gone.
Isn't that the truth?
What do you think of Sigismund?
If I were him, I'd have had enough of my brother even sooner.
But he's a monster. Look at what those hordes of his are getting up to here. What he did in Skalitz.
True enough. On the other hand, if Wenceslas and Prokop hadn't double-crossed him, none of this would have happened.
No one forced him to burn Skalitz.
That's a fact. But he couldn't let them shit all over him either. Not that I'm defending him.
He's a weasel.
No doubt about that.
Impressive, not holding the reins and
Do you know anything about Prokop?
Sir Hanush could tell you a thing or two about him.
Why?
Last winter, a certain Sir Jan Sokol of Lamberg, a well-known knight, or robber baron to some, tried to occupy the city of Iglau, which was on the orders of none other than Prokop.
And what has that got to do with Hanush?
Well, he was there with him. Of course, that's not something to brag about in front of Jobst.
And what was it all about?
They wanted to occupy a city that was on the side of the League of Lords, but despite there being several hundred strong, they didn't take it. For one thing, they couldn't get past the Iglau women, with their pitchforks and cauldrons of hot water.
I would never have thought of Sir Hanush as such a rebel. And have you heard anything about Rupert of the Palatinate?
A little. He can't manage even to wrest power from a king who doesn't much care for ruling and isn't fighting back. That doesn't seem like a man who has what it takes to rule. And that's all I need to know.
And that Berghoff we're going to see, do you know anything about him?
I haven't heard much good about him, but I have a feeling that some other nobles are quite in awe of him. And his castle is apparently quite impressive. I'll be interested to see for myself.
And what about the League of Lords?
Wealthy, pompous. The king doesn't seem to like them much. He's chosen to let the lesser ranks of the nobility into his circle, men like your father. I admit I don't blame him one bit. But the lords weren't happy about their lost influence, so they put their foot down. If I were Wenceslas, I'd have let them hang after they abducted me the first time. But he gave them seats at the provincial council? Little wonder they're back at their old tricks.
How long are you gonna have this little chatty ride for?
Henry, I'm glad you came.
Here we passed the place where a horrible thing started up with that. Been a nice touch if they had like rebuilt this or fixed it up after the attack on this place. Considering how many days we've been here. I wonder how many hours I will end up with. Probably around 50 hours. Most of the side quest and main story. We have to ride on this side. Wrong on the other side, sir. You have to follow the road, I don't. What?
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
Are you wishing you'd stayed home at Ratai instead of joining in our nighttime venture?
You must be joking. I haven't had so much fun since... actually ever.
Really? Despite being wounded? Actually, you missed the best part. When I was hauling you like a sack of grain to the battlements dead to the world.
It can't have been that much fun if I fell asleep. But you might have handled me a bit more gently. I'm black and blue all over.
Oh, all right then. Next time I'll just leave you to Ishtvan's tender mercies.
Nonsense. What would you do without me? Still, thank you for hauling me out of there.
Anything for you, my lord.
Take care.
Mm. What is this shield? Oops. 50, 20, 90. I don't know who. also talk upon. I already did talk to him. Talk to him even more.
How about it, Henry? Can we go? Are you ready for this?
Of course. At last I'll get to see more of the country and have a bit of an outing.
Quite.
Okay.
Let's get to it then. I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that horseman who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry. I have a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!
There we got the actual end of it all.